Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Lexus LS460, the pinnacle of Asian luxury. The top dog in town, if you will, Nathan.
No, you gotta settle down there, bucko, because I've got something very, very different. And it's Asian, and it's luxurious, and it has pretty much everything that has for a lot less money. How much does yours cost?
$90,000, and it's worth every penny.
Okay, this Kia K900 costs $66,300.
That's an Elantra difference between the two.
Pretty much, and this basically has all of the luxury goodies that you can get in one of those.
So coming up next on TFL, we're going to find out if indeed there is a new top dog luxury Asian vehicle in town. Voila! 4.6 liters of Lexus goodness, putting out 360 horsepower, feeding all four wheels via a sequential 8-speed transmission. Now that is some high performance, high luxury goodies under this hood.
.420 horsepower, 376 pound-feet of torque, a 5-liter engine. All of these numbers are frankly better than the Toyota, the Lexus. This goes to an 8-speed automatic transmission that feeds the rear wheels. The overall driving ability of this engine is very, very smooth. The transmission whispers to you. You don't feel any clunkiness. It's not exactly fast either.
Proper Asian luxury. You know, that sounds kind of wrong.
Well, I mean,
luxury is luxury, right?
Luxury is luxury, and
yeah.
This car isn't just a good Asian car, it's a good car. It is the benchmark for smooth. It really is. It has still one of the better interiors out there, I think. And I love this bamboo look, too. And it's real bamboo. It's real wood, real woods, real metals.
Yeah, you know, when you touch something like this radio knob and it's cold, I love that, you know, because it tells you that it's real. It's not plastic. And when you're paying $90,000 in this case for a car, you want everything to be real. You feel like if you touch something that's plastic, it's just a ripoff.
There are little things that take what is a fairly pretty shape and just drop it. And this is one of them. These little chrome strips here, they look like they're put on as an afterthought. The overall shape of the vehicle is good, but when you have things like this that kind of come off a BMW, you look at it and go, well, wait, what is that? It doesn't really resonate as anything unique or special, and that's the problem. The entire vehicle kind of resonates with people who say, well, it kind of reminds me of this car and it kind of reminds me of that car, not, hey, look at that car. That also goes for these fake vents, which are very Buick-like, but they're fake. It's not even a real vent. Why put them on there? I don't really get it. Kia is usually so good about styling. And other than the front end, which I think looks pretty cool with these dual quad headlights, the rest of the vehicle just looks uninspired.
You know, Nathan, I've been really hard on this car, and it is a remarkable achievement to basically get a car that's 95% of a Lexus.
90%.
90% of a Lexus for a third less of the price, right? The difference between those two cars, like you said, is a Ford Focus.
Price isn't, obviously is a major issue, but there are some little things that sort of build up throughout driving this car, and I've been with it for a while now, and I've had an opportunity to learn about some of it. And you know, one of the things that really got me going on the negative side of this vehicle has to be this UVO system. It's the infotainment setup.
Yep.
It is not intuitive. I can sit in a Lexus and by myself figure out how to engage all of the basic systems so I can hook up my iPod and get navigation and everything else within, say, about a minute, maybe even 2 minutes. This thing takes me 10 minutes to figure out, and even then I had issues trying to figure other components out. It'd be nice if they sent somebody to us and said, hey, this is how you do it. But that's the problem. That's one of the issues. They didn't think through all the tech. It's almost as if they said, we need to build this car, we need to throw as much as we can inside of it to be competitive with the Lexus, but at the same time, we're gonna have to cut a few corners.
From a styling perspective, there is no contest between these two cars. Lexus has had decades to develop their design language. This car is stylish, sexy. Dare I say it's like wearing a tuxedo to a party. Look at this, it looks like a spoof pufferfish. Bulging eyes, huge mouth, big ass. This is the one you want.
Roman and I agree on one thing, and that is with luxury cars, the interior is one of the most important parts of it. In fact, in my mind, it is the most important part of a luxury vehicle, and that's where Kia got it right. This is, for the money, one of the most astonishing interiors I've ever seen. The fabrics are fantastic. The gaps are just like non-existent. The feel is of a much higher, much more expensive vehicle. All of the gauges and everything, they're directly taken from Mercedes-Benz or from BMW or from Lexus, but they work really well.
Nathan, let me demonstrate from an audio point of view the difference between a Lexus and a Kia. Here we go. You listening? That's not me. That's the car. I mean, come on. I get that the fact that these seats recline is cool and it's luxurious, but to make the passenger sound like they're farting when they're not.
Okay, all right. That's fair enough. What you're getting is a lot of extra leg room. You're getting fantastically comfortable seats. You have to admit they're comfortable. And you're getting this full battery of controls where the seats are heated and cooled and you're able to control just about everything that's coming back here. So, yes, you're right. It does make some noise. It's rough around the edges. There you go. Rough around the edges. Yes, I know those aren't power, but at least you get them. And look, you even get it for the little port window too. There's a little tiny shade here that pops out and does its little thing too. So, okay, yeah, it's a little extra effort. The bottom line is that this is a much cheaper vehicle, and you do feel that in terms of tech. I agree.
All right, 0 to 60. I'm just going to floor it. A little bit of hesitation. Very smooth. And there's 60. Let's face it, a luxury car is just as much about the interior as it is about the exterior. And the interior of this Lexus is sublime. Everything you touch is either real wood, real metal, or real leather. There is no cheap plastics anywhere to be seen. When you sit in the seats, it's like being coddled by Egyptian sheets. When you touch the steering wheel, it's like touching a masterpiece. It's that beautiful. I'm not sure if Kia has quite come up to this standard, but this by far is a standard for Asian luxury, at least when it comes to the inside of a car.
When the big break comes, when you get your business going, when you've made it to retirement, whatever it may be, you want to reward yourself with a vehicle that shows that you've made it, that you've worked, that you've put through the time and effort, and you've made the money. And this is the car that really does that. You can be anywhere in the world and drive the Lexus LS, and you're telling people, I have culture, I have style, and at the same time, I'm not crazy presumptuous as I would be driving, let's say, I don't know, a Bentley or whatever.
I'm with you 100%, and yet at the same time, I wouldn't buy this car, and I'll tell you why. You know, Lexus for a long time had that relentless pursuit of perfection, right? And when you take something and make it perfect, you also content to make it a little bit boring. And there's that saying, right? The less you have around you, the more fun it is. So a motorcycle is more fun than a convertible, and a convertible is more fun than a sedan. And what you get with this car is you get a feeling of complete and utter isolation from everything around you, right? I could see the guy in the back who wants to be transported in serenity and comfort, loving this car. But as a driver, right, I want to feel the road, and there isn't a heck of a lot of road feel. I want to have a sense that I'm one with this machine, but this is doing the exact opposite. It's insulating, it's isolating, it's keeping me away from the thing that I love the most, which is driving. Not that it's a bad driver's car, right? You switch it into sport, and it really does change personalities. You switch it into Sport Plus, and you get a adequate track tool. I mean, this is never going to be a race car, but the engine is perky, the brakes work very well, the suspension is sorted, but I still feel like I'm not part of this car, like I'm not part of that driving experience.
All right, here we go. I'm in sport mode. Air conditioner's off. Everything's left on otherwise. I'm averaging around 8 seconds. This last run was 8.22. Fastest run was 8 seconds flat. Slowest run was 8.99. And that was when I let the rear wheels kind of bounce around a little bit with the traction control off. So there you go, about 8 seconds. And that's over a mile above sea level, nearly 6,000 feet.
How does it drive?
That's a really good question. I don't know. I don't know how this drives.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know how it drives.
You've been driving it a week.
Yep, I don't know how it drives. And that's because there is absolutely no communication whatsoever through the steering wheel. I can't tell from the seat of my pants what this car is really doing. All I can tell you is it's very, very smooth. But it's very smooth through transitions, it's through acceleration. Everything is smooth. There is nothing to tell me whether or not it's accelerating hard. There's nothing to tell me that when I'm going around a corner, there may be a problem with adhesion. I have no clue what this car does other than drive smooth. And that in itself is an issue because in a Lexus, I know pretty much what the car is doing while it's doing it. In this car, I really don't.
Yeah, so Lexus is insulated and isolated. This car is just numb?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's a really good way to put it.
So I have to admit, I've been unfairly harsh on the Kia. The design, you know, it is a little bit out there, but it's not bad. I think a lot of luxury car buyers will be happy with this. But the question is this as good of a luxury car as this? And in my mind, it clearly isn't, because luxury is in that last 1%. And the Lexus has it, Nathan. And in my mind, at least, the Kia doesn't. Would you agree?
Let me put it to you this way.
Yeah.
Kia built a hell of a good car. Really impressive, especially for $66,000. But at the end of the day, that is a Kia and this is a Lexus. The bottom line is that you are getting what you pay for in this car, and the overall feel of this vehicle makes me feel special.
And I think you'll agree, the Lexus has the Kia both in depreciation and the dealership experience.
Oh, God, yes.
So, if it were your money, Nathan, if you had $90,000, would you buy the Lexus, end of story, or would you buy the Kia and have 25 left over?
I'd buy the Lexus. If I'm in that market anyway, if I'm going to go and do it, if I'm going to take the leap off the ridge, then I'm going to take the car that is absolutely the best car for the money.
I'd buy the Lexus as well. That 1% is small but crucial. As always, this is Roman.
And Nathan.
Saying thanks for watching, and check out tflcar.com for more car news,
Views, and real world reviews.
Ciao.